Hey everybody, this is Mr. Horton with a series of video backup lessons for Studio Art 1, Studio Art 2, and film appreciation and cinematography. Verney Arts, Iona Prep. All right, and welcome back. This is 2-point perspective. This is our practice. It is not graded. Okay, so on my page here, I have my pencil, I have my eraser, I have a ruler, I have my book, which is horizontal. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to put it down on the page, I'm going to draw myself a horizon line, separating the page into two parts. Now, next thing, 2-point perspective denotes 2 points. So I'm going to do 2 dots. The dots have to go as far left and as far right as possible on this horizon line. Okay, so my dots are here and they're here. So it's at the perforated edge and the right edge of the page. 2 dots. When we did 1-point perspective, the objects were linear in front of you. So it looked like this. And the object could move around on the plane like this, and we were putting it into perspective. With 2-point perspective, the object is now like this, and it is going around accordingly, and we're having to do both planes on the front at a corner, okay? 2-point perspective is twice as many steps. Again, you guys tend to understand it a little bit better, though, because a lot of your worldview view is in 2-point perspective. Okay, so same thing we did with 1 point. We're going to start out by doing 3 blocks, okay? But this works totally differently. In 1-point perspective, we started by doing the shape you were putting into 3D. In 2-point, it doesn't work like that. In 2-point, pretty much everything is cut out of a square, okay? And the way you make a square is by starting with the corner. And that sounds really weird, but just bear with me, okay? Now, I'm going to put my ruler down. It's pretty much in the center of the page at a vertical. And I'm going to draw three lines. I'm going to draw a line at the top. I'm going to draw a line on the horizon line. I'm going to draw a line at the bottom, like this. 1, 2, 3. Make sure the middle line is touching the horizon line. Okay? Now, only focusing on the top line and not worrying about any of the other ones. I'm going to go to the bottom of that line, and I'm going to go to my right vanishing point. So bottom of the line, right vanishing point. I'm going to draw myself a guideline pointing at the right vanishing point. I didn't go the whole way. I don't have to. If the line's going there, it's fine. I'm going to go then to the top of the line and the right vanishing point, and I'm going to draw myself a line to that dot. So I have 2 lines from the top and the bottom of the vertical line to the right vanishing point. I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. I'm going to go to the back to the bottom. I'm going to go to the left vanishing point. And I'm going to do the same thing with the top. I'm going to go to the top of the line, and I'm going to go to the left vanishing point. So I have 4 lines going to 2 vanishing points. 2 to the left, 2 to the right, from the top and the bottom of the line. Now, my cutoff. If the front of my block is a vertical line, that means my cutoff in both of these spaces has to be a vertical line. So I'm going to move down these spaces to wherever I desire, and I'm going to do a vertical and a vertical. Okay, in both those guideline spaces, 2 vertical lines of the cutoff. Now I'm going to take my eraser, and I'm going to erase any excess guideline I don't need. We're at this step where it kind of looks like an open book. I'm going to go to the 2 bottom corners, bottom right, bottom left. I'm going to start with the bottom right. I'm going to put my ruler on the left dot and the bottom right corner. You'll notice I'm going to the opposite dot from the corner. So bottom right to the left dot. I'm going to draw a line. Then I'm going to go to the bottom left corner, and I'm going to go to the right dot, opposite dot, and I'm going to draw a line. There's my block. I'm going to color my bottom plane. I'm going to erase my excess. Block in 2-point perspective. Let's go to the bottom one. Okay, same process. We're going from the top and the bottom of the line to both dots. Four lines to 2 dots. Okay, from the top and the bottom. Close off. Vertical line in the front dictates the vertical line has to be used in 2 guideline spaces. So I'm putting a vertical. I'm putting a vertical. You'll notice it's slightly bigger than the upper one. That's fine. It's also a little bit more here than there. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to erase my excess. Now I'm going from the top right and the top left to opposite dots. So starting at the top right, I'm going to put my ruler on the top right corner, put my ruler on the left dot, and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to put my ruler on the top left corner, I'm going to put my ruler on the right dot, and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to erase my excess. I'm going to color in my plane. Okay, 2 blocks in 2-point perspective. The middle block, same process. Top and the bottom of the line, go to both dots. Okay, 4 lines to 2 dots from the top and the bottom of the line. Okay, now we're going to close off with A. Okay, so putting the middle block into perspective, if the first line of the block is vertical, my close-off lines are also vertical. So I'm going to put in my 2 close-offs. I'm going to erase my excess. I'm going to erase my horizon line inside the block. I'm going to redraw my block. I'm going to color in a plane. Now, normally at this point, you would look for opposite dots to get the bottom of the top plane, but because this block is on the horizon line, it is actually on the plane that you are standing on viewing the picture, which means you don't see under it, you don't see over it, okay? This block is technically under the ground. This block is technically floating above you. So because this block is on the horizon line, again, we do not see over it or under it, you're just seeing the 2 planes, so that block is done. So now, we are gonna put in 2 more lines. We are gonna put in a line right here, and we are gonna put a line in right here. We are going to put the top line into perspective by going to the top of the line to the right dot, and the top of the line to the left dot, and the bottom of the line to the right dot, and the bottom of the line to the left dot. Okay, so from both lines, I have 4 lines to 2 dots. So 2 to the right on the top, 2 to the left on the top, 2 to the right on the bottom, 2 to the left on the bottom. Now, again, I'm looking at close off. So the upper block, again, it's going to be a vertical, and it's going to be a vertical. You will notice when I do the close off on the upper block, I'm doing it so that the one on the left is close, the one on the right is far away. Do it just like that, okay? The one on the bottom, we're just going to make it to a normal cube. So we're going to do one on the left, we're going to do one on the right. Now erase all your excess on both. Okay, excess is erased. We're looking at the 2 open book looking shapes. Now again, we're going to go to opposite dots from the corner. Start with the bottom one. Go to the top right corner of the block, go to the left dot. It's going to look like this. We're going to draw a line in the left dot. Go to the top left corner of the bottom block, go to the right dot, all the way over there, and I'm going to draw a line to the left. I'm going to erase my excess. I'm going to kind of just leave the block as is. I'm not going to color in anything, so we're going to do something to that. Now the top block, bottom right corner to the left dot, you're going to get a line like this. Bottom left corner of that block to the right dot, so there, there, and I'm going to get a line like that. I'm going to erase my excess. I'm going to clean up my plane, and again, just to repeat, I'm not going to color in anything because we're about to do something to both of these. Okay, so what we're going to do for the upper block is we're going to cut out a negative space square out of the front face of this block like we did kind of with 1 point. So we're going to start by putting in a vertical line on the left side of the front plane of the block. Okay, now from the top and the bottom of that vertical line, I'm going to send both of these lines to the right dot. These are both going to the right dot. So from the top and the bottom of that vertical, both send these lines all the way to the right dot. Then at the end over here, I'm going to draw in another vertical line at the end that has a similar gap to here, to right here. These 2 lines, I'm going to put in a similar gap, but it's a little bit less because remember, for shortening, I'm going to erase my excess until I'm left with a little square. Okay? Now, in order to get the 3D here, we're going to go from this corner, the top right corner, to the left dot. Top right corner to the left dot. It's going to give you a line that looks like this. Okay? And then I'm looking at this width between these 2 lines. I'll color it in, this part. Between these 2 lines. And I'm going to estimate that distance, and I'm going to draw in a vertical line right there. Okay? Now, I'm gonna zoom in on this so we can all see this better. From where this vertical line touches this guideline going to the left dot, I'm gonna put my ruler there. I'm gonna put my ruler all the way on the right dot. So there and all the way on the right dot. And I'm gonna draw a line that is right here. Okay, and I'm gonna zoom out just to show you a little bit better again. So I went from there, right dot, and it gave me that line. I'm gonna erase my excess inside, and I'm gonna color in my plane. And just like that, we have a block with negative space cut out. Now the bottom block, I told you guys when we just started this that all shapes are cut out of a cube, okay? So we are gonna do a triangle right here. So the way we're gonna do this is, we're gonna find this plane. We're gonna split this plane in half with a vertical line. So give me a vertical line down one plane, down the forward plane of this block. From the top of that line, you're going to the left dot. It's gonna give you a line that looks like this. From the top of that line, you're going to both corners on the front plane. So 1 and 2, go to both corners. I'm gonna erase the line I just put in. Now, I'm going back here to where this line stops on the back end of the block, and I'm finding this corner. And all I'm doing is I'm connecting these 2 points. You see the triangle floating inside the block? I'm gonna erase my excess. I'm gonna erase the bounding block of the block inside. I'm gonna redraw in the triangle using my ghost lines that are left. I'm gonna color in one plane. Okay, so here we are. Just 2-point perspective. We did 3 blocks in 2-point. We did 1 block with a negative space cut out. We did 1 block that was turned into a triangle. Next thing we are going to do is the project grade. If you have any questions about the assignment, email me or refer to the project on Google Classroom. See you in class.